Okay, good evening to all. So today I'll be explaining using the internal PWM module of ARM microcontroller, how to generate the PWM wave and how to vary its duty cycle. So internal PWM module is already available on the LPC 1768 microcontroller. Just to interface this internal PWM with the LPC 1768 so that our intelligent device will generate the PWM wave and add the commands in the program to vary the duty cycle. And we can see the output of the PWM wave by using the CRO when we conduct the lab experiment. First, I'll explain the PWM module of LPC 1768. LPC 1768 has 6 PWM output pins which can be used as single-edged PWMs. Totally 6 single-edged PWMs we can use or 3 double-edged PWMs. There will be any match registers in the LPC, that is a PWM module of LPC 1768. Totally 7 match register will be there. Out of 7 match register, 1 is common, which will be holding the total time period, whereas the other 6 match registers are dedicated to each PWM. These 6 PWM output signals will be either single-edged or a double-edged signals. Now, the block diagram of PWM pins will be associated with the duty cycles of the registers. For a single-edge controlled PWM output, all single-edge controlled PWM outputs will go high at the beginning of the PWM cycle unless their match value is equal to 0. This informs that PWM wave for a single-edge controlled PWM starts with a high value, logic 1 is equal to 5 volts. So our wave will be starting from 5 volts, not from 0 volts. So PWM wave is a square wave where we can change the width of the signals. Each PWM output will go low when its match value is reached. If no match occurs, the PWM output remains continuously in a high. Only when the match occurs between the two reference values, the output will go low. Thereby, we are generating a square wave, high to low, low to high by controlling the match values. And also we can able to control the width of these on and off period, ultimately controlling the duty cycle of the PWM wave. So these are certain features of the PWM module of the LPC 1768. I think you can read all this. It is there in your manual. I don't want to give more time over here. I'll just move to the required registers explanation. LPC 1768 PWM register. Here there are so many registers are there. Your number is a little bit wrong. It is due to the human error. It is LPC 1768. Register, there are totally some 8 registers are there. We need to analyze these registers. What are these registers? How many bit registers? For what purpose we can make use of this register to generate the PWM wave? IR register. It is interrupt register. The IR can be read to identify which of the 8 possible interrupt sources are pending. Writing logic 1 will clear the corresponding interrupt. Actually, there are certain interrupt signal pins are there. With that, we can give the interrupt signal to the LPC 1768. Those signals will be 8 possible interrupt signals are there. If any interrupt is coming, we can identify using this IR register, but in our program, we are not using. This is for the real-time application, we can make use of this register. Then TCR, timer control register. This register is used to control the timer counter function. There is a one timer counter which is responsible for generation of your clock pulses. Then this timer counter is controlled by timer control register. This register TCR is used to enable, disable or reset the timer counter. So timer counter is in short form we call it as a TC. It is a 32-bit timer counter and it will be incremented every time when the PR+1 cycles of program clock reaches. For every PR+1 cycles of program clock is the clock period of the clock cycle of your LPC 1768. This timer counter is controlled by TCR. So what is this PR? PR+1 is nothing but PR is the prescaler register. The value +1 will make to increment the TC. So what is PR? PR is a prescaler register. This is used to specify the prescaler value for incrementing the TC. See, these are all you need to understand. After explaining the theory part, I will show one animated version how PWM is generated. There you can analyze what are the importance of these registers. Prescaler register is used to specify the prescaler value for incrementing the TC. Then prescaler counter. PC is the prescaler counter. This is also 32-bit counter, which is incremented to the value stored in the PR. This counter is always incremented to the value stored in the PR. When the value of the PR is reached to this value, the timer counter will be incremented by 1. Then the match control register is one of the register which is used to control the resetting of the timer counter and generating an interrupt stating that a match has been occurred between the two reference registers. So what are those reference registers? Here I told already there are some match registers will be there. Match register 0, MR0 is a match register 0 which will hold the maximum cycle time. So when I say it is a square wave, on period and off period will be there. Total time period is equal to T on plus T off. Okay, this is the total time period of a single square wave. This total time period will be, that is a value will be stored in MR0. For example, if I say I have a square wave where on period is for 5 milliseconds, off period is also 5 milliseconds. It is the 50% duty cycle and the total time period will be 10 milliseconds. So that time will be in terms of integers, it will be loaded in these registers. I have taken just an example. MR register 1 to MR register 6, these are the match register. These will hold the match value, that is the duty cycle value. Always the duty cycle is equal to on time divided by on plus off time period. So on time period of the square wave will be stored in this match registers corresponding to the particular PWM channel. There are totally 6 PWMs are there, PWM 1 to PWM 6 in this LPC 1768. MR1 is dedicated for PWM1, MR2 for PWM2, respectively. MR6 is dedicated to PWM6. Then next register is PCR, PWM control register. This register enables the PWM output and selects the PWM channels types as either single edge or a double edge control. PWM control register enables the PWM outputs and selects the PWM channel type. I told we can generate the PWM with a single edge or a double edge. That selection will be done using the PCR register. LER, load enable register. This register will allow us to enable the use of new PWM value when the match occurs. Another way, when the MR0 and MR1 value becomes 0, your your respective MR match register will be loaded with the new value, and that is possible only if we make the enable bit in this register high. Now, in this PWM interface, we have so many registers. In your manual, whatever so far I've explained, those explanations are there. But we need to understand what are the formats of these registers in order to write the program. So one by one, I'll be explaining the formats of these registers. Time control. Timer control register. It's a TCR. TCR register is 32-bit register. 0, 1, 2, 3. From 4 to 31 bits are reserved. The 0 bit is named as counter enable bit. See, there is a one timer counter. If I want to enable the timer counter, I need to use this bit in my program. If I want to reset the timer counter, I need to use the bit number 1. Bit number 2 is reserved. And if you want to enable the PWM, you have to use this bit number 3 of TCR. So I told the bit can have the two values, either 0 or 1. So we'll discuss when the bit 0, it's a counter enable, is 0. It disables the counter. If this bit is 1, it enables the counter incrementing. Bit 1, it is the counter reset. If it is 0, do not clear. Counter will not be cleared. It will not be resetted. If this bit is 1, the PWM timer counter and the PWM prescaler counter both will be synchronously reset on the next positive edge of the processor clock. Your processor clock, when the next positive edge comes, at that time, your PWM timer counter as well as the prescaler counter both will be resetted. Then bit 3, it is a PWM enable bit. If it is 0, your PWM will be disabled. If it is 1, your PWM will be enabled. Why I'm explaining all these, you have to remember what should be the value of these bits if you want to use the counter, if you want to enable the PWM. Next register is a match control register. It is also 32-bit register, 0 to 31. Please concentrate on the slide. You can make out here the bit 0 is PWM MR0I. Bit 1 is PWM MR0R. Bit 2 is PWM MR0S. These 3 bits, the first 3 bits are dedicated for MR0 register, match register 0. Next, PWM MR1I, PWM MR1R, PWM MRS. The next 3 bits are reserved for PWM MR1 register, the match register 1, which is dedicated to PWM1. Similarly, all the next bits are reserved. They are reserved for the respective PWM MRI, MRR, and MRS operations. What are these MRXI, MRXR, MRXX? PWM MRX. X is the number of PWM MR register here. Either you can take it as 0, 1 up to 6. Now, depending upon the which PWM MR match register you are going to select, you need to select that particular bit. What happens? The value is 0 or 1. If this interrupt bit is 0, it disables the PWM match interrupt. And if this bit is 1, it enables the PWM match interrupt. Here, why this match interrupt is required? We are using the 2 match register and the content of these 2 registers are compared. in order to make the PWM go from high to low and low to high. Then only we are able to get a wave, a square wave whose duty cycle can be varied. PWM MRXR, R indicates a reset. This is used to reset the PWM timer counter whenever the match occurs. If you keep this bit as a 0, it will not reset the timer counter. If you keep this bit as a 1, the PWM TC counter of the respective match register counter will be resetted. The timer counter will be resetted with respect to the particular match register value of the particular PWM. PWM MRXS. This bit is used to stop the PWM timer counter. PWM, that is the prescaler counter. Whenever the PWM timer counter matches the value with the PWM MR register value. If this bit is 0, it disables the stop operation. If this bit is 1, the stop operation feature is enabled. Coming to the next register, PWM control register, that is a PCR. It is also 32-bit register, 0 to 31. 0 and 1 are unused. Then this register is used to enable or disable the PWM output, as well as to select the either single edge or a double edged PWM wave. Here pin number 2 to 6 are reserved for selection of particular PWM, either for single edged PWM wave or double edged PWM wave generation. 7 and 8 are not used. PWS, then bit number 9 to 14 are used to enable the particular PWM output. So in this power program, we are using this register for a selection as a single edged, and which PWM we are using, that is a PWM 3 we are using. So PWM 3 means where it comes. Can you make out here? PWM enable for 1 is 9. For 1 it is 9. For PWM 2 it is 10. For PWM 3 it is 11. So we are using the 11th bit of PCR register to enable our PWM, which is the PWM 1.3. So what happens for the bit value? If the bit is 0, this selected PWM will act as a single edged PWM. If the bit value of this 6 to 2 is 1, the respective PWM will be capable of generating with the double-edged PWM wave. PWM enable, if the particular bit is 0, our PWM will be disabled. If you want to enable the PWM, we have to make that particular bit as a 1. So in our program, we are using the PWM 1.3. So what we are doing? We are making the 11th bit high in our program. And we are keeping this as a 0 because we want to generate the single edge PWM wave. Then load enable register. Load enable register is also 32-bit register from 0 to 31. Here from 0 to 6 bits are used. The remaining 7 to 31 are unused. The 0 bit is named as LEN0. 1 bit is LEN1, second bit is LEN2, third bit is LEN3, and the 6th bit is LEN6. Load enable. Its LEN is the load enable. This bit is used to enable or disable loading of new match value into the respective match register whenever the particular PWM timer counter is resetted. PWM timer counter will be continuously incrementing whenever it reaches the PWM MR0 value. Timer will be reset depending upon the PWM TCR, the timer counter configure, the register configuration. Once the timer is reset, the new value has to be loaded into the MR0 to MR6, and this happens only with these values. If this bit is 0, there is no loading of new value into the register. If this bit is 1, the new value of can be loaded into the respective match register whenever the timer is resetted, so that our waveform can start from well initial condition from 0, and it can have a high and it can come down to low when the match occurs. Now, after looking into this register, now it is a time how the LPC 1768 PWM module works. Here, the timer counter is continuously incremented. Once it matches the MR1 or MR2 or MR3, which PWM we are using, then PWM wave will be the pin, the particular pin we call it as a PWM pin, where our PWM wave is available. That pin value will be pulled to low. That means your output also comes to low. From high, it comes to low, and your timer counter still continues to increment till it reaches the complete time period, the MR0 value, T on and T off value, and PWM module will, after once it reaches the T on and T off, it resets the TC value. The timer value will be resetted. Once again, the PWM pin will be pulled to high. That means your wave will go to high position again and loads the new value into the particular MR1 or 2 or 3, which PWM are using. In that register, new value will be loaded and your wave starts from high once again, and the same operation continues. And how to configure the PWM? First, configure the GPIO pin on your board, which is dedicated for PWM operation. And on our board, we are using the, there is one output, the PWM output is there. And that particular GPIO pin is controlled by one of the pin select register. So we need to configure that pin select register. Then configure the timer counter register to enable the counter for incrementing the timer counter value and enable the particular PWM block. Set the required prescaler value in a PR. In our case, we are keeping it as a 0. Configure the MR, the match control register, to reset the timer counter whenever it reaches whenever it matches with MR0. Whenever the TC value matches with the MR0, your timer counter has to be resetted. That can be done using the MCR register. And in our program, we are keeping the MR0 value as 100. That means total duty cycle is 100. Load the duty cycle for required PWM on a channel with the respective match register. See, the total time period is 100. And how much duty cycle I need, that value I need to load on the respective MR register. For example, I want a 50% duty cycle and I'm using the PWM 3. Then MR3 value should be 50. If I want to make the duty cycle as 60, then I need to make this MR3 value as 60. So this is the value here will be controlling the duty cycle. Enable the bits of LER so that we can load the new value into the MR3 register whenever the match occurs or a timer counter resets. Then enable the required PWM channels in PCR register. As I told already, we are using port, one of the port pin, that is a port 3, 26th pin we are using, because at this pin only one of the PWM output is available, that is PWM 1.3. In our hardwired LPC 1768, which is already hardwired, we are getting the output, PWM output at port number 3, 26th pin. And this port number 326 pin is controlled by pin select register 7. In pin select register 7, 20 and 21 bits controls the port 326 pin. If these two, the value on these two bits are 1, 1, then port 326 pin will work as PWM 1.3. Is it clear? Then, so in the port 3, we are using 20 and 21 pin. We need to send some data to these port bits so that we can configure our PWM output pin. Coming to the program. Here first we have to include the header files LPC 1768. So we'll be calling it as 17xx.h. This is the header file, common header file for all 17 series of LPC microcontroller. Now, then we'll be defining a variable naming S bit underscore counter enable. CNT means counter enable. S means single bit. Just for our analyzation, we are naming it as a single bit counter enable. And we are selecting the bit as, which bit? 0th bit. Why we are selecting the 0th bit? Because we have to select the 0th bit in the your timer counter register to enable the counter. Then define S bit underscore PWM MR0R. R is for reset, I told. So this is the naming I am giving for this variable. What operation I want to perform on the same name, we are defining this variable. This is also single bit underscore PWM MR0R. Which bit in that MCR register? It is the first bit in the MCR register which will reset the MR0 whenever a match occurs. If you make it high, then only it resets. If you make it 0, it will not reset. That's why I'm sending which bit? First bit. Whether to make it 0 or 1, that we'll be declaring in the next part of the program. Define S bit underscore LEN3. LEN3 is dedicated for PWM3 in LEN register. The same name I have used to define this variable. So LEN3 representing the LEN3 bit position in the LER register load enable for PWM3. So in that register, bit 3 is dedicated for PWM3. And I have to make this high in order to load the new value into the MR register when the counter resets, timer counter resets. And to send that value, so I'll be sending either 0 or 1 in my next program. Define S bit underscore PWM enable. EN is completely enable 3. I told why the 11th bit. So 11th bit is dedicated for PWM3 enable operation. So I'm selecting the 11th bit here and I'll be sending 1 on this bit to enable, and that I'll be doing in the next coming lines of the program. Define PWM underscore 3. This is just a variable name I'm given to the port 326 pin where our PWM output is available. Port 326 pin on our LPC 1768 board, the PWM output is available, but this pin is controlled by pin select 7 register 20 and 21 pin. So that's why, because it is controlled by 20 and 21, I'm just use the 20 here. You may ask, why not 21? Because I need to make both the pins as high in order to make this port number 326 pin to act as PWM. If I select only one bit, the lower bit, it is sufficient. Higher bit will be automatically selected based on what data you are sending through commands. Now, we need to have some delay in setting or sending the value into the internal register of the PWM. That delay function will be performed by this delay program. Void delay underscore ms. Ms is the, and we are giving the name for this delay. It is an unsigned integer ms. So your delay operation completely depends upon the ms value, and the ms value will be declaring in our main program. And it has a two integers. The delay loop has a two integers I and j. Here two loops are there, and one loop will be inside the other loop. I value will be 0. If I is greater than value of ms, it will start incrementing. Once it gets in, it will go into the another loop, that is where j value will be 0, and it will be incremented till it becomes 4999. Once the j value becomes 4999, I value will become 1. So like that, this loop will work till I value is less than ms value. I can keep ms value as a 1, 5, 2, 10, depending upon how much delay I need to reset the match register and load the new value. Okay, coming to the actual program, main program. Void system int is a system initialization line. Now this is the main program, int main void. Here I am declaring another variable called as a duty cycle. Why I am declaring? Using this variable only, I will be able to vary the duty cycle of PWM wave. If you are not going to use this PWM duty cycle, your PWM wave will be generated with the what are the prescribed value we are going to put into this register. With that value only, the continuous PWM wave will be generated. Now, I told already I have to make the port 3 pin number 26 as an PWM pin. To configure that, I'll be using the command lpc underscore pincon. Pincon is a pin configuration command. For which register? Pin select register. Which pin? Which pin? That will be given in PWM underscore 3. PWM underscore 3 is pointing to which pin? 20th pin. So 20th pin will be having the value as 3. 3 is 1 1 in binary. Can one bit position can have 1 1? No. So first lower bit will be there in the pin number 20th, and higher bit 1 will be there in the pin number 21. Like this, we are making pin number 20 and pin number 21 of pin select 7 register as 1 1, so that your port number 3, 26th pin will be configured as PWM output pin. Now, lpc underscore PWM1. This is the standard command to use the PWM1. So actually there is a PWM 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. Like this is totally 6 PWMs are there. Okay. So the standard commands we are using lpc underscore PWM1, and which register I am configuring here? The TCR, timer counter register is configured to enable the timer counter. So how to enable the timer counter? By using the variable sbit underscore counter enable. So this variable will be pointing to 0th bit. 0th bit in the TCR is dedicated for enabling or disabling of the timer counter. So what I'm doing, I'm making it as a high. The 0th bit I'm making it as a high. So ultimately the timer counter is enabled. Next, lpc underscore PWM1 PR value, pre-scalar register value, we are setting it as a 0. So our comparison starts from 0. But always for a single edged PWM, waveform starts from high. lpc PWM1 MCR. This is match control register. Here we are just resetting the MR0 whenever the match occurs. So what I'm doing, I'm using the variable sbit underscore PWM MR0 MR0 R is for reset, and this complete variable will be pointing to first bit of the MCR register. The first bit of the MCR register will give us whether you want to reset the MR0 or not when match occurs. If it is 0, no resetting. If it is 1, the resetting of MR0 occurs when match occurs. So what we are doing, we are sending 1 to that bit. So when we are sending 1 to that bit, we are configuring that PWM MR0 register should be resetted whenever the match occurs. That is timer resetted. LPC underscore PWM1 MR0 is equal to 100. We are considering the total time period T on plus T off is equal to 100. So that value I am loading here. Then LPC underscore PWM1 MR3. Why we are using MR3? Because we are using the PWM3 1.3 by using the port number 326 pin. We are making the PWM 1.3 pin to work as PWM generator. So we are using the MR3, the match register 3, that will be holding the value of duty cycle on period value. On period value is 50 here. So ultimately you can guess that our waveform as of now, whatever the explanation has done as of now, according to this, your PWM waveform will be having 50% duty cycle. Then LPC underscore PWM1 LER. LER is the load enable register. In that I told already, we are using the which one? PWM3. So that particular bit designated for PWM3 has been defined using the variable called as SBit underscore LEN3. What is this? SBit underscore LEN3 will be pointing to the third bit of LEN register. So third bit of LEN register will allow us either enable load or disable the loading of new value into the match register. So what we are doing, we are making that bit as a high. When we make that bit as a high, you will be enabling to load the new value into the match register after TC resetted, timer counter resetted. LPC underscore PWM1 PCR. PCR is a PWM control register. In that, we have to enable the PWM3. So PWM3 is represented by the pin number 11, and that will be defined using the variable SBit underscore PWM enable 3, where it is in our define program. Define SBit PWM enable 3 is 11th bit. So the 11th bit of PCR register is set to 1, thereby enabling the PWM3. So this is the how we are configuring the registers of LPC 1768 dedicated for PWM generation. Now, with this program, this much of program, we are able to generate a square wave with a duty cycle of 50%. But I want to vary the duty cycle. If I want to vary the duty cycle from 0 to 50 or 0 to 100 back to 0 and 0 to 100 like this, then I need to add these are the certain lines in my program. That's why we have defined one of the integer as duty cycle. So we have written this program in a while loop. For that duty cycle, initial value is 0 and it will be incremented till it becomes less than 100, it will be incremented. During this time period, what happens? Your LPC, MR3 will be holding the duty cycle value, not the what we have defined here. It will not be holding the 50 here. It will be holding the value starting as 0. MR3 is a match reset value is 0, 1, 2, 3, up to it becomes 99. So like that, what happens? Your MR3 value will be every time compared with your MR0 value. So you will be getting a continuous high value. Then with a delay of 5, I'm given the MS value is here a 5. It is the If I value becomes less than, if it becomes 5, the loop will be completed, the delay loop will be completed. So this is we are getting a positive cycle, or your wave will be moving from high up to total time period of the complete square wave. Then next, in a same thing, it happens in a zero level also, logic zero level. So what to do? Make it the duty cycle as 100, compare it becomes equal to 0. If it is greater than 0, you decrease the duty cycle, and the same value, whatever the duty cycle value, please load into the match register 3. The same thing will be given to the PWM pin output, and we will be getting the continuously a variable duty cycle PWM waveform with a delay of 5, with a delay value of I value of 5. Please just go through this complete. This is a MR value they are taken as MR1 they are using. We are using MR3. Value is 60. Then continuous comparison will be there up to 60. When your comparator value becomes 60, what happens? Your square waveform goes down and timer counter increases till MR0 value. Once the MR0 value becomes MR0 value is 0, no, the timer counter value becomes 0, both will be equal. What happens? Your waveform will once again go to high, indicating that the new value has been loaded into your MR0 register. Timer counter is incrementing. It will be matching with MR3 or MR1. We are using MR3. It is 60. When this value becomes 0, it will go low. Once again, timer is incrementing. And it will match now with MR0. Once it becomes equal to MR0, it goes high. So here the duty cycle is 60%. But using the duty cycle last part of the program, we are continuously varying the duty cycle in our PWM waveform.